The back squat is a foundational strength movement that targets the quadriceps, glutes, and hamstrings as your prime movers, with the erector spinae and your core acting as stabilizers. And it's important in sports performance because it develops lower body force and improves acceleration and your jumping potential. Your feet should start shoulder width apart and your toes slightly turned out. Bar placement should be across your upper traps or your rail delts. It can change due to your torso angle. And a high bar promotes a more upright posture, while your low bar shifts lower posteriorly. Common errors in this workout can include knees collapsing inward, your heels lifting, and also lumbar rounding. This usually comes from weak glutes, poor ankle mobility, or your lack of trunk bracing. A good cue to help you is spread the floor, so you can engage your external rotators and you can brace before you descend. And corrective strategies can help are goblet squats, so you can help your deft ankle dorsiflexion drills, and because they can help with better movement mechanics. As you can see in my workout.
Okay. On the ground. The other, first of all, we feel like we can jump.
Squat, my knees are collapsing inwards. And I'm also using the cue to spread the floor.
Unless you want to wait for him.
My next workout is the overhead squat, and the overhead squat helps total body mobility, stability, and also your coordination. It helps through the shoulders, trunks, and the hips. Its purpose is not just strength, but it helps develop a kinetic chain control and dynamic stability under load, making it valuable for athletes to require strong posture and balance in extended positions. The bar should be held with the overhead with a wide grip, elbows locked, and your feet are slightly wider than your shoulder width. And you must maintain a vertical torso, which requires a significant ankle dorsiflexion, thoracic extension, and shoulder mobility. Common errors can include the bar drifting forward, your heels rising, or your chest dropping. This often results from limited shoulder or thoracic mobility, and also poor core control. A cue that helps you with this workout is press up and sit down between your arms. If your overhead mobility limits range, you can help yourself by getting a goblet squat, front squat, or a single arm overhead squat with a dumbbell or a kettlebell. This helps maintain the movement's purpose while accommodating your limitations in a safe way. As you can see in my overhead squat, I have a wide grip, elbows locked, feet are slightly apart, slightly wider than my shoulders, and as I go down, I control the weight. Heels stay down, feet don't come up.
Show control with that. It looks good. Make sure you're
And my next workout is a deadlift, a regular deadlift. In the deadlift, it helps build posterior chain strength. It targets your glutes, your hamstrings, and your spinal erectors as your prime movers. It's one of the most transferable strength lifts for sport because it helps develop hip extension power, and which is very critical for sprinting, jumping, and deceleration. Your feet should start hip width apart, your bar over the midfoot with a neutral spine, and shoulder blades over the bar. The lift starts with hip and knee extension, and when you finish, you need to finish tall with a full hip lockout. Common errors can include rounding your back, shooting your hips up early, and hyperextending at the top of the lift. And this can come from weak lats, poor bracing, but most of the time, tight hamstrings. A cue that can help you is pull the slack out of the bar. And also, you could say drive to the floor. Corrective drills could be RDLs, so you can help your hinge control, and you can do pause deadlifts, so you can always get back and reinforce your starting posture. As you can see in my deadlifts, I start off bar over midfoot, back at a great hinge, and I push to the floor. Stand up straight, arms stay locked.
4.
Swear to God.
My last workout, the RDL, it actually isolates my hip hinge back. I'm building posterior chain strength and stability, and helps me with injury resistance. Unlike the deadlift, the regular deadlift, my knees stay slightly bent as the hips move back and the bar tracks close to my legs. The goal is to strengthen the hip extension and hamstring resilience, which improves sprint acceleration and reduces injury risk. Common mistakes can include overbending my knees, rounding in my back, or making the bar drifting too far away from my body, which could be caused by poor hip hinge awareness. But most of the time, like in this video, you'll see I have tight hamstrings when I go a certain level. Well, when I go down, a good cue could be keep your hips back, the bar close, and make sure you feel the stretch. And you can correct this with wall tap hinge drills, but most of the time, single leg RDLs to build control and balance. As you can see in my RDLs, when I get to this point, I stop pushing my hips back and I just use only my back. That's due to tight hamstring. But my coach corrected it by making me go down less